Good evening. Thanks for being here. I'm Troy Charles, and here are your top stories. The Thunder Bay District Health Unit confirmed a new case of COVID-19 today, bringing the total number of active cases to 4 in the district. The newest case is a Thunder Bay man in his 30s who is believed to have caught the virus through close contact from a previous case. The man is now self-isolating. He is the 98th case in the district, with 93 of those resolved, 4 active, and 1 death from the virus back in April. The Thunder Bay Chamber of Commerce has joined Canada United, a national movement to support local businesses. The movement, led by RBC, has brought together more than 50 of Canada's leading brands to show some local love.
Canada United is a movement to show local businesses some love. Right now, they could use our support more than ever.
For every social media interaction, which includes likes, hashtags, and views of Go Canada United content, RBC will contribute 5 cents to the Canada United Small Business Relief Fund. They'll make a maximum contribution of $2 million to the fund, which will then provide small businesses with grants up to $5,000.
Businesses are trying to, plan not only for today, but also planning for the future as to how am I going to manage some of the extra costs, particularly that are involved. Things like, providing hand sanitizer if you're an indoor space and maybe having masks available for your staff and perhaps your customers. So those are all added costs to business. And so anytime there's a way that businesses can access new money that is free money that they don't have to pay back later is a great thing.
The campaign runs until August 31st, and more details can be found on the Go Canada United website. Hydro utility Synergy North is trying to do the right thing by their customers who have fallen on hard financial times as a result of the pandemic. Customers in Thunder Bay and Kenora can breathe easier if they're behind on one of their latest bill payments. As Synergy North spokesperson Leslie Racco explains, they know what the Stage 3 reopening is a good thing as far as getting back to work, but added stress comes with the changes, and she wants them to know the company will work with them to pay the bill.
I remind our customers that we're here and we're ready to help. So if anybody is feeling kind of struggling or stressing, just that they can give us a call, and we would love to discuss payment arrangements with them or just connect them with one of the financial assistance programs that might be the best fit for them.
Those assistance programs are available on the Synergy North website or by calling their customer service department. For 30 years, the Ontario Breast Screening Program has existed, and here in Northwestern Ontario, one handy way to access it has been the Screen for the Life coach bus. But due to COVID-19, the traveling coach will be operating different this year. Cole Promain explains.
Despite a delayed launch due to the pandemic, the Screen for Life coach is ready to hit the road, but will not be able to make as many stops as they would in a typical summer. This season's road trip will see the coach bus stop in Dryden, Marathon, Atikokan, Geraldton, and Nipigon, beginning in August and running until November. The coach normally visits over 40 communities per summer, but despite the changes, Catherine Mayer, the coordinator of the Screen for Life coach, says they are encouraging those who can to make a trip and still get screened at their nearest location.
So it's quite a significant change because usually we have communities, about 47 access the coach in a screening summer. So we're definitely significantly less than that now, but we're still going to be asking communities to travel to us in order to access screening to their nearest community.
Inside the bus, things are pretty much the same, and in addition to the mammogram screenings, which can be made by appointment in 30-minute increments, the coach also provides access to cervical and colon cancer screenings. Despite visiting fewer communities this summer, Mayer says the coach and its team are thrilled to be helping the region once again.
Yeah, it feels great. Everyone's so excited to get back on the road. All of our staff in the office, the ones on the coach. We're just happy to be able to still service the region because that's the bulk of our travel in the summer. And so we really wanted to make a point to be able to still be able to service the region and then come back in November and be able to catch up with Thunder Bay.
To book an appointment or inquire about dates and times, one can simply call 684-777 or toll free at 1-800-461-7031. And all services are free of charge. Cole Promain, TBT News.
Drag racing returned to Terrace Bay this weekend as speed lovers and car buffs met at the town's former airport for a special test and tune in place of the 2020 Drag Festival. And despite some obvious changes due to COVID-19, both the organizers and the racers have deemed the event a rousing success. Adam Riley was there and files this report.
For over 2 decades, racing enthusiasts have descended upon Terrace Bay during the August-long weekend for a much-needed release of adrenaline, with aspirations of reaching speeds well over 100 miles per hour. But according to Superior Classics Car Club President Mark Houston, this year almost never came to be.
People thought Drag Fest was canceled, and it was canceled as a spectator event. We probably could have did a bit better event, we could have done a better job as a club, but we were holding off to the very last minute. Pending another outbreak, we would have probably had to cancel. So we thank the racers for their patience and continued support.
This year saw empty stands as a no spectator rule was put in place to prevent any possibility of a COVID-19 outbreak. Houston admits many of the participants are missing the spectator component, but says much of the test and tune style event has a focus on the racers and their cars' performance.
It's a community, and it's a social event. And with the COVID-19, it's just more so in that they want to get together. They haven't been able to get together. And again, we miss the spectators, but thanks to our racers, this racing family and this racing community, we're happy to be able to put this event on.
Terrace Bay is the only place actually that'll be running any venues as far as a test and tune. All the rest of them were already canceled, so unfortunately this will be the only place we'll be able to run because of the COVID.
Does it feel weird though not having
oh yeah,
audience?
The spectators, yeah, a lot of, especially with we run junior dragsters too, right? A lot of the people come here for the junior dragsters to watch the kids run, and there is no spectators this year. So
one of those junior drag racers is 10-year-old Jake Geldart from Wawa, who got the racing bug after winning a four-wheeler race back home. This is his second appearance in Terrace Bay, but now he drives something a little more advanced than a four-wheeler. He says while his dad and brother do most of the work, he still helps out and must keep his composure like that of a fighter pilot.
I want to shake, but I can't shake because you don't want you don't want to turn the wheel by accident or anything. So it's really still. And when I come back, there's quite a bit of stuff that I have to do. I have to fill it up and have to make sure that everything's still running the same as it was when I went down the track.
Even though this year had no spectators, with over 70 cars in attendance, Houston says this year's combination of a test and tune and Dragfest 2020 is an all-around success. And he says he's looking forward to potentially hosting another event before the snow falls in September. Adam Riley, TBT News.
The 30th anniversary of the Festa Italiana had a different feel this year than in the past. Gone was the live music and big crowds due to the pandemic, but the food the event has become known for hasn't gone anywhere. Avery McRae has that story.
Although it's not the regular Festa Italiana residents have become accustomed to every August-long weekend, event chair Benny Malchori says patrons were still looking forward to their favorite Italian meals.
Everybody's excited and everybody's happy. You say, well, at least it can be a full-blown Festa, but it's something, we'll keep it in mind for next year.
The COVID-19 pandemic has robbed the city of the usual crowds, beer tent, and fireworks that come with the Festa each year. With its takeout-style format, only a few tables are set for those wanting to enjoy the regular Italian delicacies, such as gnocchi, meatballs, sausage on a bun, and lasagna. Malchori knows it's not the ideal way to celebrate the Festa's 30th anniversary, especially with one key element missing.
We're missing is the crowd. We're missing the crowd, and we're missing people dancing and laughing and singing. And that's what's missing, it's the social aspect of the Festa, Used to have 1,000 people on the parking lot, and this year, unfortunately, that's not going to happen. But that's the only thing that we miss about the Festa.
Not missing were the long lines of people waiting to pick up their favorite foods. Last year, 4,000 pounds of gnocchi and 3,000 pounds of meatballs were served, and Malchori expects to sell 75% of last year's sales in the less traditional Festa. Inside the main food tent serving the pasta was Michelle Love and Noreen Arno, president and member of the Ladies of the Italian Society of Port Arthur. The pair is focused on continuing traditions so they can be passed along to the next generation.
Who doesn't love Italian food?
Yeah,
And you talk to any
exactly.
of our kids, they love it. They might not help, but you know what? They want Italian food. And so they love that culture. They want to keep it up.
Yeah.
They might not help because
They will.
they have
I'm
commitments.
hoping that
I
they
mean, they're
will.
all work. It's different.
It's an important thing that is to share our culture and tradition with the rest of the community and hopefully pass it on to the next generation of Canadian Italians.
The Festa Italiana will continue tomorrow from noon to 9 p.m. Avery McRae, TBT News.
Now, with its regular fair festivities canceled, the Canadian Lakehead exhibition held a drive-in concert and fireworks show for their 130th anniversary. The event was free of charge and saw quite a large turnout. Over 100 cars showed up for the drive-in concert. Local band Rebel Spirit kicked off the night festivities and were followed by Private Eyes. The grounds are normally filled with rides and games, but had to change their plans due to the pandemic. Marshals guided guests to their space, alternating parking spots to promote social distancing. Those in attendance were to stay with their vehicles during the show. While the event was free, residents could make a donation in support of Our Kids Count. Event chairman Basil Litchwood says this was the right way to give back to the community.
You know, and we just want to give back to Thunder Bay. You know, people have been scratching at the walls to get out, you know, not really, you know, having a real live concert. It's always a virtual reality, and we never had a Canada Day thing here. So we as a CLE, we decided, you know what, this is the right thing to do, so we're doing it.
After the performances from the band, there was a fireworks display presented by Pyro Boys. Now, Mike, how happy are you that you get to lead your show today with Toronto Maple Leafs highlights?
Thrilled. Over the top. I mean, I wish the game went a little different, but what are you going to do? It's the Leafs.